These birds you're talking about, these are all ground nesting birds.
Some are ground nesting, some are not. Usually the flyway visitors, the ones who are using the Pacific Flyway and traversing, they may nest in trees or wherever, but the snowy plover and the least tern are ground nesters.
That makes them vulnerable to dogs, children,
yes,
and cats.
And that's the problem. That's exactly the problem, and why we can't have or support any kind of development where we'll be increasing children running, and some people don't go places with their children and show them things to avoid. Some people just open the door and away they go, and they feel like they're safe here. So they don't worry about the children, but we worry about the birds, because we had low-flying, I forget what they call them, Bill. What do they call those aircraft that are single? Ultralights. We had ultralights using Ormond Beach, and the birds, of course, thought they were huge, noisy, and destructive predators. So we lost 40 nests that season. And we had to go to great lengths to get the city to make rules that they could not come and fly low over Ormond Beach, because the birds couldn't distinguish between what was harmful and what was just going to pass over and go. And they just left their nests and their young.
It sounds like somebody's done a bird count here.
They have done bird counts here, and I haven't been a part of that operation, but I know that that a friend of mine has come down and stretched the banners around to let everybody know there was nesting going on in that particular area in the dunes. They like the dunes, and they like the growth in the dunes. And so I know that Al certainly knows, Al Sanders, who was the resource chair, natural resource chair for the Sierra Club. I know he knows how many nests were there and how many they lost and that sort of thing. And other people who come here, the bird lovers come here and they count. And it's very important to know, because if something like the ultralights aircraft is going on, you have to be able to tell them that it's doing damage, and you have to be able to prove it. So we do a lot of that, proving.
How about other wildlife? Are there any California boa in this area, or is there any snakes?
I know we have the goby fish, and that of course is an endangered species. The Beacon Foundation, with whom I operate, it's a small board, and we're pretty active, and I have been handling the Ormond Beach end of the Beacon Foundation, and we do extensive research. We have paid for scientific help when we really needed it, and so certainly a lot of effort has gone in here, and there are Roger Pariseau, Al Sanders, they are bird people, and I know they could answer their questions better than I can, your questions, Bill. But we really have within our groups, and there are several groups, we have a lot of ability, science ability, and photography ability, and Al's a wonderful photographer. But there are many people who have made a contribution here, and it started really as soon as Halico arrived and encountered the first citation, and we found out about it, we were here.
Who wrote that citation?
I believe that one was Clean Air, because they had a chimney that belched really toxic smoke, and it filtered, because of the direction of the prevailing wind, filtered over all of those units that line the street over there. And it was pretty distressing. There was a group called the Ormond Beach Observers, and there were members of that group who participated and came down and sat the birds so that motorcycles wouldn't run over them, and all kinds of things.